What's up guys, welcome back from the Yugioh Pro Duel video. New Dragunity support from the structure deck. A couple of cards were revealed like last night, my time, and I think we can definitely expect more cards from the structure deck, but I really wanted to try them out. And for the build I based myself on PhoenixFlare's most recent video about Dragunities. I'll leave like the original link or video in the video description, so feel free to check that one out. Made some small changes, but I really liked the small morphage package, right? Preventing both players from special summoning from the extra deck. That's not really new for Dragunities, but like the red morphage that prevents like spell activations, and that's huge because the biggest weakness of this deck is of course Dark Ruler no more if you have your established board. The new Synchro, it's a level 10, it's basically a Crystal Wing, and the extra deck space is tight, and I dropped the Yugioh from the extra deck for that one, so it's a bit iffy because Yugioh is quite of an important tool if you're battling it out against like disruptions and hand traps for the opponent. In your standard combo it's not really needed, right? Well, yeah, you're using like the Red Eyes, the Darkness Metal Dragon, the Link 4 that reborns something from your graveyard, for example. The new spell, Glow, it's a fantastic card. The only reason why I'm not maximizing on this card is that it's a once per turn, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it should be a once per turn. So that's, but other than that, you don't really want to clog your hand with those. Then again, you maybe want to increase the consistency of opening with it, because basically it searches like a high-level Dragunity monster from your deck. And I have two targets here, being the Mistletoe and their new Chaos Boss monster, the level 10, which is also a good one. I feel you could definitely like main deck that one as a one of tech. Like just banish like a wind, I believe you banish like a wind and or dragon from your graveyard, banish two monsters to special summon it either from the hand or from the graveyard, and that makes this card so good. It also equips like opponent's monsters when they are destroyed by battle, so it all in all it's a good card. It also negates stuff, but that's not a quick effect, sadly. This is like one of the variations of the standard combo. Probably should have started with like the standard combo. It will be the second like replay, but I mean, this is really cool. Yeah, okay, opponent had like 2 interruptions, so there was no LP summon. I believe Pisty was summoned, but no LP, so maybe I should account for LP. But in the long run, it's not going to matter too much. And the second replay is like the standard combo, right? And this new support definitely helps out by, again, facilitating those like 2/3 card combos of Senatus, for example. Most of the time it will be Senatus, the winged beast you need, right? And of course, yeah, one of your extenders, the tuner, and one of your extenders being the Mistletoe, for example, again, because of the new spell being Glow, just increases the consistency of going for Mistletoe. But yeah, eventually Gaydark as well, and this is again the standard combo getting off the Zephyros. Oh, something to note is that I'm, even though I'm using like the TCG version of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, is I'm going by the new OCG rule. Like, you can only use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon's effect once per turn, so that's something to keep in mind here. But, I mean, we don't know when we are getting the errata, so feel free to just use, like, the TCG version and just keep reborning it instead of Gaydark, right? The other thing why this new spell, your Glow, is so superb is that both effects can be used in the same turn. So the searching effect, first of all, and the second effect is its graveyard effect, is that just banish itself from the graveyard to special summon one of your attached, equipped Dragunities to the field. And that can be important if your opponent has those multiple hand traps, and then, you know, it just basically it could keep you extending your plays if you, let's say, equip like a Synchro, because again, like Barca has the ability to equip any like Dragunity from your graveyard to it, for example, and you know, this card just keeps extending your plays, and that's what I definitely like about this card. So this cool combo, no spells, right, so no Dark Ruler, no more evenly matched, could have been an out if it wasn't for Boral Savage. And yeah, the one of Monster Negation being Crystal Wing, and of course the Amorphage being able to block both players from using the extra deck. So going for Escalon as well, keep upgrading, eventually going for the new level 10 also, basically another Crystal Wing. So I'm not really sure if I want to dedicate an extra deck spot for that one, or maybe, well, I think you should keep running Escalon, right? Breaking boards. Especially going second if you side deck something like Dark Ruler no more, which you have to, maybe not in the main deck, but going second is where this deck is like struggling a lot if you're, you know, like need to battle it out against established boards. I mean, getting through a couple of disruptions might be okay, but if your opponent ends with calamities or something like that, I can't see myself winning because again, no impermanence. So playing through the Nibiru, and that's where the Chaos Boss monster comes into play. So you can activate the negation effect, and then the monster targeted on the field will decrease its attack stat by 1000, equal to the amount of equip cards you have on your side of the field. So that's like 2k now. And I eventually opt to go for Diabetic Seal to have some form of interruption during the opponent's turn, and you know, like most of all, most important, getting Goliath on the field to prevent my opponent from using or at least both players, right? Both players cannot use their extra deck, but this is cool. So using Armagram, negating my own Goliath, so I can use, well, you know, like ducks and use my extra deck to its fullest potential. And worst case scenario, there is like Rage, I believe the name is, you know, the Rakeki Break-alike card. Not really sure if it would have mattered too much. So yeah, really cool, this new support. Then this is what I talked about before. I mean, going second, let's say game number 1, where it's like no side deck, and this deck, it's still fragile, but you know, the new support definitely helps out. But as you saw, the main deck is not running hand traps, it's not running Nibiru, no impermanence, Ash Blossom, or going second cards like Lightning Storm or Dark Ruler no more, and probably Dark Ruler no more, because again it shuts down basically anything, and Dragunities do have the ability to pump out the Escalon to break through your opponent's big monster negation. So maybe I might main deck Dark Ruler no more, not really sure about that, still testing things out. So but this is a problem. Going second, game number 1, and seeing that in the current TCG format, like yeah, the Helic FiberX engine is not hit. A lot of decks can play like the True King of all calamities, and that's game, right? Because again, no impermanence. So yeah, drop the Chaos Boss monster equipped with Lewin, I believe the name is, or try to equip it, and yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Tuning, eventually searching another chat synchron, another Helic FiberX will eventually hit the field, and then I can just scoop up my cards, right? Can't really do anything about that. This is a bonus one, the last one. Going first again, no disruption as you see, but the Dark Rule no more is there. But again, okay, you're running the Amorphage package, and I think you need to run it because again, Goliath was already somewhat of a semi-staple in the deck, because again, an easy target for to special summon during your opponent's turn with like your Hermetic Seal, the Link 2. But at a small cost of making the low-level Amorphage as well, you're basically shutting down your opponent from playing the game, and I think that's well worth it. So again, the standard combo, I guess, again with the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon only being able to be used once per turn, equip the Cruise from my deck to the, yeah indeed, yeah, from my deck to the Spell and Trap card zone, so there is the Barca, which, okay, I'm one tuner short, but it's not going to matter too much, because again, I have extenders, I have the spell as well, which I was able to search out off of Romulus, so getting off, or special summoning eventually. Well, maybe I should have gone for, what is it called, the level 10 first, you know, just in case. But in the long run, it doesn't really matter too much. So 2 monster negations on the field, special summon the tuner, going for a Pisty. Well, yeah, eventually Pisty LP shenanigans, and making sure that I eventually go for the Link Summon first, then use the Red Eyes effect. And here I make a small mistake. Well, a small, it could have been a big mistake if there was like an evenly matched in the hand here. I could have been able to go for Savage. Because I like overlooked the fact that, you know, like the monster special summoned off of the Red Eyes is put back to the bottom of the deck, I believe. So that was my mistake. There, instead of Escalon, there should have been a Boral Savage. But yeah, I mean, this field, no extra deck summons, no spells. With Boral Savage, you could negate the potential evenly matched. And yeah, double monster negation. I mean, this deck is really cool. It's really fun to play. It's really straightforward. You're basically like going for the same standard combos over and over again. But I mean, the new support definitely helps out with this, so I'm definitely looking forward to the new support and other cards that will be revealed from the new Dragunity structure deck. So like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.